Are your exterior doors installed backwards? Let's find out. What I want to talk about today is exterior doors and how to tell if they've been installed backwards, in other words, reversed. Here's a great example of exterior doors being installed backwards. This is a French door setup. As you can see, both doors open outward. So why is it backwards? Well, this particular door assembly, this here should be your exterior jamb. This should be on the outside. Currently it's on the inside. This jamb is a lot thicker than this one. So if you're on the outside of the door where the hinges are, you could literally chip away at the wood and it would break off the hinges. So this is meant to be thicker to keep a burglar, for example, from damaging this area to get to the hinges. That's one reason why this is installed incorrectly. Number two, these hinges are not security hinges. There should be an Allen set screw right here, which is the only way you should be able to undo these hinges. Right now I can take a screwdriver and knock this pin straight out and then take the doors off without even damaging the doors and break into your house. So here's a good example of what the Allen head set screw looks like on the security hinge. So this is a common thing on a house that has a small interior, and understandably so. I get it. I understand why you want the doors to open outward. But what you need to learn is that you need to buy the right door application for your application. You can buy the correct doors that open out that are going to have security hinges, and they're going to be built in a different way to keep the doors weatherproof and security proof. I find this a lot when I'm out inspecting houses, and I'm not so sure a lot of people are aware of this. This door here is an exterior door, fiberglass entry and patio door. It says it right on the door. On the other side here, it says right hand in swing. Is designed to open into the house. So what I'm finding is I go to a house and the door opens out. So I'm pulling the door towards me as I walk up to the house. I'm going like this. And there are applications for that, but you got to make sure you have the right application door if you want it to open outward. Now, most of the time when I find it, it's a pretty standard pre-hung door. A pre-hung door means it's already got the jambs, the door, the hinges, the sill, everything's intact. So you just got to take out your old door. Hopefully it's the same opening if you measured it correctly, and it should pop right in, and then you level it, shim it, whatever you have to do, and then you screw it in. That's the purpose of these pre-hung doors. So right here, this is called the outer jamb because this is the side that's designed to be facing the exterior. Now, what I typically look for is the depth of this jamb, this exterior jamb. Right here, it's about 3 inches. This part is on right in line with the stucco. There's a rubber seal right here. It goes up here, across the top, down the bottom, and the bottom has its own seal right there. So if you look at this here, this jamb is 1.25 inches. On the inside jamb, which is going to be on the interior of the house, it's only 3/4 of an inch. So why is there a difference there? The reason why this is thicker is this is a security measure. The way this is constructed here, it makes it really hard to take a screwdriver into it and try to jam the door open. So by this being thicker here, it helps protect the door from being damaged and from somebody trying to enter illegally. So that's part of the reason. The other part of the reason is it allows the door to have a rubber seal here and really seal itself from the weather on the outside. I want to show you one of the conditions of having the doors installed backwards. And that is, starting to get water damage down here. Because the door's not installed correctly and water's getting past the door and it's getting down into the jamb, and it's causing it to have damage. You can see the stains. The stains are coming from the top and working their way down. And it's all going to rest right at the bottom, and that's where most of the damage is going to be. So let's check this side. Same thing here. You see all the stains, and then they all just build up right there at the bottom. So if this jamb here was on the outside, then this would have protected the door and kept the inside of that jamb safe and sealed from the weather. So that's the problem here. This jamb is supposed to be outside, and if that was the case, this seal would have protected this inner jamb. So once again, this is the correct facing side for the exterior. Now remember, we're playing this part right here as the exterior of the house. Over here is the interior. So when I walk up to a house, I'm seeing this. I'm seeing the hinges out here, hinge down there. So is that a problem? Well, yeah, it is a problem because these are not designed to be outside. These are not security hinges. And let me show you why. Okay, so here's one hinge. Here's another hinge. How do you tell which one is a security hinge and which one is a regular hinge? Well, let's break that down. So over here is a regular hinge. Now, how can we tell that? Well, let's see. It's got the top of the pin right here. And as you can see here, if you stick a Phillips head screwdriver and tap that with a hammer, that'll pop out this pin and these two pieces will separate. Okay, that's how you can tell that's a standard door hinge, not a security hinge. Here is a version of a security hinge. Here's the top of the pin, and here's the bottom. As you can see, the bottom has a piece in place that will not allow you to pop this out with a hammer and a screwdriver. So that's one part of the security measure here. Now if you open this up, you'll see it has a little bit of a lip right here. So when you close this, that lip goes into this hole, which in the event you were able to pop this pin out, you wouldn't be able to lift the door up when the door is still closed. So this is a second security measure, 1 and then 2. So if I take a hammer and a punch right here, and I simply put that in there, I can take this pin all the way out. I can take that pin all the way out and take that pin all the way out and break into your house without even damaging your door. So that's why this is a problem. So number one, the door's backwards. It's installed wrong, which means the manufacturer probably would not warranty the door. 2, it's now a security issue because you don't have the correct hinges on here. 3, the door is not protected now on the tops and the sides because this is all exposed to the exterior, which means heavy rains, high winds can push water on top of here and inside here. Okay, so the takeaways for talking about the door installation being backwards are a manufacturer is probably not going to warranty the door if it's installed wrong, number one. And if another fun fact for you is if all 6 sides of the door are not painted, manufacturer will not warranty the door. So all 6 sides means front, inside, side, right side, left side, top and bottom of the door all have to be painted. So if this is not done and there's a problem with the door and the manufacturer sends out a representative to inspect the door, they're going to look underneath the bottom of the door with a mirror, look on the top with a mirror to see if you painted it, and if you did not, they will not warranty it. So during an inspection, finding a door that's installed backwards, you definitely want to let your client know that, hey, look, you need to get someone out here to spin this door around so it's installed correctly, make sure it's all painted, and that should be the end of it. So it doesn't mean you have to buy a new door, just have it reinstalled the correct way. I hope you found this YouTube video helpful, informational. Hope you got something out of it, in other words. Also want to let you know I do have a podcast. It's called Home Inspection Authority Podcast. Straight Talk with John LaForme. That's me. And you can get that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and several other podcast platforms. It's all directed towards home inspections, setting expectations for buyers, realtors, and it's got a little bit of that home inspector training in there. So go ahead and check it out and let me know what you think. If you find it useful and helpful, please leave a review, and I greatly appreciate your support. See you on the next one.